Hello YouTube, my name is Mikel Angelo and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going on a bit of a rant. It's going to be unscripted, it's going to be just kind of everywhere, right? I already know it's going to be everywhere because that's what happens when you rant. And basically today what I want to talk about is complacency, right? So to kind of give you a background on kind of what the context is of me going on this rant is that last night last night I picked up my groceries from Walmart because I use like the pickup feature that's on the grocery app where like you make a shopping list and then you just check out, and then when you set a designated time, you go and you pick up your groceries and you come back. So the Walmart that's closest to me is only about 5 minutes away. And basically what had happened is that um, I was talking to my roommate and was like, hey man, I gotta go pick up my groceries. So I go in my room, I put on a pair of pants, throw on a t-shirt, throw on some shoes, I put my gun in my pants, and I walk out the door, I pick up my groceries, I come back, and and I go back into my room, I put my gun away, and we continued our conversation. And during this, and he's just kind of like, bro, Walmart was like 5 minutes away, you were gone maybe 20 minutes. Why do you even bother bringing your gun? And I at first I just kind of dismissed him, right? I was just like, oh, whatever, man. It's just a force I have it. Like I didn't really think about it. But as I was putting my own groceries, that's when I really started thinking about it. I'm just like, why would he say that? Why would he bust my balls about bringing my gun to Walmart on a 20-minute trip? And the only thing I can think of is complacency, right? And it's not so much that it's a bad thing. Like, unfortunately, in today's society, complacency is one of those things that's moderately accepted. Um, it's moderately accepted for you to only get your bachelor's degree and then go work. It's moderately accepted for you to only, go to the gym but never actually do anything at the gym, if that makes sense. And and basically, the message I'm trying to get out today is that complacency kills, right? Both literally and kind of figuratively. And a really good example of this was that when I was in the armed services, one of the main examples I use on how complacency kills is like, for an example, you have you're in Afghanistan, you have this Afghan contractor that comes in every single day and he cleans out the porta johns, right? Right. So the first, we'll say 30 days, you check him and his truck every single day. And then one day, like say if there's like a long line at the entry point for whatever reason, right? You just let him on through, right? And you're like, whatever, I'll just check him the next day. And then the next day you don't check him. And then the day after that you don't check him. And next you know it's been 35, 40 days since the last time you've checked him, right? And you just became complacent and just assumed that he has nothing on him. And then on we'll say the 41st day, his truck is full of bombs and he blows up the fob, right? That's a really extreme version of complacency, but it was a very good way to explain how complacency kills. And to kind of like attach it more to the civilian side of things, right? It's kind of like how, for an example, that maybe when you were, and this is a hypothetical person, I'm not saying you specifically, but like, say maybe when you were like in your 20s, right? You got up at 5 a.m. every single day. You were in the gym by 5:30. You were home by 7. You were out the door to work by 8. You're at work by 8:45. You bust your ass till 5 p.m. You come home. You cook dinner with your significant other, spouse, sister, whoever, right? You have a beer and you chill out with them, and then you go to sleep and you repeat the process, right? And then we'll say five years pass by, right? Now you wake up at 7:30, 8 p.m. You're out the door by 8:30 p.m. You're showing up at work at 9. You're doing half the amount of effort you did 5 years ago at the same job, right? You come home, instead of cooking with your spouse or significant other, or whoever, like either you're cooking for yourself or you're cooking, or they're cooking or they're cooking for you. Instead of having one beer, you have 3 beers, and instead of hanging out with that person, you are now at the bar with 3 beers with your buddies, right? Fast forward, say like another 3 years, right? Now we fast forward another 3 years, right? 3, 4 years. Now with this continual habitual thing of you becoming complacent, now you're fat. Now you do the bare minimum at work. Now your spouse, significant other, sister, whomever, right, hates you because all you do is order pizza and drink a 6 pack every single night, right? You becoming complacent is what ultimately is going to kill your health, right? Because you stop working out, kill your career development, right? Because now you're doing the bare minimum, and now is potentially killing your relationship with whomever you're living with, right? Because you don't care about them anymore, or at least you don't show that you care about them anymore. And that, I think, is a more realistic view on what complacency can do to a person. And I don't know why that dumb comment just grinded my gears so hard, like that. It just made me like, it makes me want to do this, just rant. And it just like, I don't know if it's because of his profession, of being an active duty military member, right? That makes me kind of like, where it kind of irks me more, because like out of all people he should be the least complacent. Or maybe it's just the fact that he was talking about me, he was busting my balls about me carrying my weapon at Walmart, right? And the thing is that it could also just be attached to the fact that I live in El Paso, Texas, right? We just had a major atrocity happen not even 3 weeks ago, at a Walmart, right? And I think what also just kind of bothers me about that statement is that the fact that not even 3 weeks later, he's already complacent again, right? Everything is back to normal. I don't know about y'all, like it could just be me being paranoid, but like at least because I live in El Paso, Texas, right? Like I'm always on high alert here, right? Just like head on a swivel, fucking looking at everything, because the part that I guess he doesn't realize is that pretty much how his schedule works is that he gets up at 5 a.m. He goes onto the base. He's onto the base all the way until 6 p.m., right? So a 12-hour window of his day is on a very secured, fairly safe base, right? And then he comes home here, and from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m., he's usually here, or like he goes to his groceries or whatever. He's very homebody-ish. So it's kind of like you're never you're never really in like a dangerous area, if that makes sense. Like you're not really exposed to civilian life at all, because you either spend all your time at home or you spend all your time at work, right? Which is on a secured base. So whereas like again with me being a civilian, um with now being a civilian, it's just like, well, I have to go to school, which is, right next to downtown. When I used to work in downtown, I used to have to go to downtown, and downtown is literally half a mile away from Juarez, right? Juarez, Mexico, which, if you do a quick Google search on Juarez, Mexico, they're not the most pristine city in Mexico. Um, and also being a border state, right? We get a lot of trafficking, we get a lot of cartel, um, we get a lot of cartel activity here. It's not as, what's the word am I looking for? It's not as blatant as like the movies make it out to be. But like when you walk into a business and you talk to the owner, or you talk to like some of the employees there, it is very, very clear that like either the cartel owns this establishment, or this establishment is influenced by the cartel. And I'm not gonna go over today what those signs are, but it is not surprising to find out like if a business is used to launder cartel money, or if like it's an actual like cartel household. So I got really off track there, but point being is that going back to complacency, right, is that like it's just something I had to get out. It's just something I had to talk about because it was really bothering me. Actually, like I thought about it. Yeah, I thought about it for like 3 hours last night when I was trying to fall asleep, and it bothers me. And again, I don't know if it bothers me because he's an active duty service member, and he, out of all people, he should be the least complacent. I don't know if it bothers me because we just had a major atrocity in El Paso 3 weeks ago, and it still affects me mentally, even though I'm not an even though I'm not native to this city, it still happened in this city, right? And and I guess for me, like it really, I guess, woke me up because before all of these major atrocities that I'm referring to, they never happened. Not they didn't even happen within 100 miles of me. So, whereas this happened literally down the street, not at my Walmart, but at the second closest Walmart, which is only 10 kilometers away. So that's what, like 6 or 7 miles away, um, something like that. So it's just one of those things where, um, yeah, basically the message is that complacency kills. Don't be complacent. And if you're going to be complacent, uh, expect it to not turn out well for you because even if you look at the most successful people in the world, they're not complacent at all. They might be complacent at the gym, but at least when it comes to the work ethic, like they're not complacent at all. All right. Well, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Uh, be sure to leave a comment below if you have a difference of opinion or maybe you also just want to rant out about something else as well. I will see y'all in the next one.